So Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing quite good, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally I'm doing quite good. I can't think of anything bad that's happening right now, so that's
No?
a plus, If you can't think of anything bad that's happening, you're
Something
probably
good?
doing pretty good.
Yeah, probably.
Even
Hopefully.
even if you can't think of a good thing, you're probably
Yeah.
doing all right,
This morning I wasn't doing too good.
No? What happened this morning? Last night what did we do last night?
We partaked in a little legal green.
A legal green. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, okay. Yeah.
A little putting.
Sure. We
we got on there. We took our nine irons out.
yeah, we had a little
We did a little green.
we had a little puff.
Little action on the green.
A little puff of the precious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, we did that. I
Nice.
kind of
We did
forgot.
that. We smoked that.
I immediately ditched you.
Immediately, we came back inside.
But to be fair, we were sitting outside for a little bit. We were having a laugh, we were having some fun.
Listen to some music.
I kept doing the thing where I restart the music, and that bit was just killing. Everybody loved it. And then
it's actually awful. Dan will play a song, and then he'll just loop it. But by looping it, it's just restarting a song.
By clicking it on Spotify.
Yeah.
And I was doing it not to
And
get
it's
ahead of ourselves.
Awful.
It's fun for me. I think it's quite funny.
It's fun a couple times.
And then it can get old. But then it could get funny again.
It could get funny
Yeah,
again.
that's how the loop of cycles work. The cycle
loop
of
of
jokes.
cycles.
The loop of cycles. What was I saying? Oh, I went back to jump ahead a little bit. I went back inside. I was doing the same thing to Sarah, my girlfriend, in my room, with a different song.
And
that
was
was
doing
funny.
a long time.
I was
when we
doing
were
it
outside,
for-
so it was already overplayed.
Yeah, and I did it for even longer inside. And her phone stopped working.
You have a saint of a girlfriend.
Spotify stopped letting me click it. It must have been like the UI, the user interface must have been like, oh, it must be bumping in a pocket or something against something because it keeps starting and stopping.
You broke your own Spotify.
Like no buttons would work on Spotify. I locked myself out.
Stops you from this awful habit.
But anyway, we
partaked.
Yeah,
And then we
we
came back-
inhaled on the.
And then Dan and Sarah, Dan's girlfriend,
Yeah.
immediately went right into his room and left me alone. And they didn't even say goodnight.
Yeah,
Which is so rude.
I think the plan was to really just like go in and grab something, and then I sat on the bed. We were like, "What should we watch?" And
Yeah.
I did come back out on my
came
way
back
to the
out, you looked at
kitchen
me
to get food.
Just so high, you're like, you watched something funny?
Were you?
I was.
Question withstanding.
I was, yes.
Okay, interesting. What were you watching?
I don't know, some podcast thing. But
Okay,
I
yeah.
was also munching hard on a thing of spicy mix that I bought at Costco.
Costco spicy mix, the best.
And we calculated the calories because I was feeling like dog shit this morning.
Yeah.
And we calculated the calories. I ate 3,500 calories worth of spicy and sweet mixed nuts.
We had to
from
do the
Costco.
math. We had to crunch the numbers because you ate about 2/3 of a big case of it. We're talking
Big
Costco.
case. Yeah.
You know Costco. You know
Been
the
there.
sizes. They're big
It's a
there.
wholesale market.
It's basically like the Texas of wholesale.
Yeah.
Everything's bigger in Costco.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you ate like 2/3 of a tub. And then we looked at the back and we said the tub itself had 1,000 grams.
Yeah.
So you had to have eaten like 666.6666666
And then
grams.
And then we came up with 3,500.
Yeah, because there's
Insane amount of
140 calories
Plus,
per
we drank
30 grams.
Plus, we drank a slushy, a
Yeah,
large
a large
slushy.
slush.
That's 500 calories.
Yeah.
I had a little fish.
Oh yeah.
Probably another 300. I'm looking at a 5K calorie day.
And the great thing is you don't
Like
look
I'm not
it.
a bodybuilder.
You don't look it though.
I absolutely gained a pound yesterday.
Do you think so?
Of course I did.
Okay. Well, that's exciting.
That's exciting. I'm getting bigger,
You're getting
buffer.
big.
Mhm.
It is like
I'm
it's
getting
not,
more full.
you're getting more full. It's not bulking season yet, but you're bulking. You're in preparation for bulking season.
I'm doing it.
You're bulking when everybody else is cutting, so you can get those like winter
Yeah.
ladies.
You know who's not bulking?
Who?
Paul Giamatti.
No, he's not. He's slimming down, everybody.
Mhm.
Is that the transition? Do we get into it, Sam?
Yeah, or did you have anything to say?
No, I said that my life has been pretty dull. You ate 3,500 calories. That sounds like a good opening
And
to an
that's
episode.
our lives.
Welcome back
Welcome
to the
back to
podcast.
Giamatti
Giamatti, 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 Paul Giamatti.
Welcome back to Giamatti Giamatti Giamatti, your one-stop, fully academic, encyclopedic source for all things Paul Giamatti. I love it.
I'm your host, Sam.
And I'm your host, Dan. I love what you did with it.
You like that? My radio
It's
voice?
like you repainted the theme.
Yeah.
Or not theme. You repainted the intro.
Yeah, thank you.
You renovated, you gave it a new, a fresh coat of paint.
You know, we all need a little fresh face every now and again.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You
And
redid
same with
the
the
trim.
podcast.
Yeah.
Dan, what the fuck are we doing here?
Well, we're getting old, Sam. This is episode, what is this, 36 now?
36.
Episode 36. We've been doing this for a long
The
time.
podcast is now middle-aged.
If you've been listening along with us, we've gone from boys to men.
Mm-hmm. It's true. We kind of went through puberty a little bit. We were very horny for a time.
Yeah, yeah.
Watching Michelle Williams.
Well, you got to see us take our baby steps at the beginning of the podcast. Like one of our, the first episode, we were just like, "Oh, we're gonna do a podcast about Paul Giamatti."
You guys think that's funny?
That's crazy. We're being so silly. 36 episodes in, over
And now-
38 hours of probably like
That's crazy
38
to
hours
think.
of content later.
Yeah.
Days probably worth
Now
of our
we're
time.
video. We got highlights. We got a full video podcast.
It
We're
is-
changing the fucking Giamatti game.
We are changing. We're innovators.
Truly.
We're breaking things. We're coming in. We're breaking things. We're innovating. Oh yeah. Oh my God. That's such a big update. So hold on. Let's say what we do, and then you got to
Okay.
give us a story.
Yeah.
If you're on the video podcast, a big thing just happened.
Oh,
a big
yeah.
reveal, but we'll get into it in just a second. So what we do here on the podcast is we're watching everything Paul Giamatti has ever done. We are
Mhm.
big upholsterers.
From the first thing he's ever done
Yeah.
up to the present.
Up to the present. We started way back in the day with some really shitty extra parts he had.
Yeah.
And now he's a full-time, big actor in the
Yeah.
world. He was nominated for an Oscar
Two
before.
Sundance premieres in 2006, which this
Insane.
movie's from.
Yeah, insane.
Mhm.
So he's killing it right now. And we're along for the ride, and it's been a really exciting journey. And
We're growing with him.
we're growing up
I mean,
with
he's
Paul.
already grown,
Yeah.
but we are growing together.
Well, that's the great thing about film is that it offers just a point in time,
We can glimpse back into the lives of others.
Like a tattoo, it's always
A mistake.
it's always a mistake to make a movie. You're going to lose money.
Yeah.
No, but it's a glimpse back in time. It's like this is a period of life of the world,
Of these individuals.
and that's what makes that's what makes this journey and podcast so interesting. Is that we're looking through the lens of Paul Giamatti at culture and Hollywood and
the Me Too movement.
women's rights, exactly, the LGBTQ movement,
Yeah,
as
which
well.
we're really qualified to talk about.
We'll
Yeah.
bring in guests when we need to.
We are allies.
Let's say it right here.
We're allies.
We're allies.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, I'm glad we've established all these things.
But I'm AJ.
what?
Ali and
that?
AJ.
Al-
Ally and AJ.
okay, I didn't catch it. It was okay. All
Womp
right. All right.
womp.
Stop looking at the camera. I don't care if you did a bad joke.
So what you need to tell everybody is what happened. So now that we got what we do out of the way, we play.
fuck yeah.
We play sound clips like this.
Yeah.
We play sound clips like this.
Yeah.
You want yeah? But that's just part of the fun.
That's just what we do
We
here.
like to have fun around here. We may be academic. We may be some serious guys when we get behind our typewriters and we're writing out reports and essays on Paul.
We're all about them reports.
When we're doing research, we're checking into the bibliotech, and we're like scanning out books. We're no strangers to Dewey Decimal,
No,
but we also like to have fun.
of course.
And
that's what the podcast is all about.
and nothing is more fun than party mode on a vape.
Oh, nothing.
And the last we heard, Sam, was that your vape was gone.
Oh, it resurrected.
Oh my God!
It's back.
What happened? Did you buy a new vape?
Well,
Did
'cause
you?
last time I came down to Kitchener, I had lost it.
Yeah,
Remember? We talked about it.
We did,
We all
yeah.
remember.
it was
iconic.
it was so sad.
So sad. My identity stripped away. Like
You were-
Batman without a cape.
You were nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then I came home and it was just sitting on my coffee table.
Shut up.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Really?
How is it? Yeah. And
Wow.
just standing up. Just sitting there standing up.
Standing.
And I'm like, what?
Is this Sam? Is this a Toy Story 4 situation? Where
it could have been, but I texted my roommate just in case.
Yeah. It's good to check in before you
And he
jump.
said
to
it was
conclusions.
underneath the couch.
Oh,
It must have fell underneath the couch, and then he found it.
that's incredible.
That's the full story.
A story for the ages, I think.
And I bought a pack of cigarettes.
I know you got back into smoking because
I'm addicted to the nick.
yeah,
I can't quit the nick. You know?
yeah. Well, I don't know. I've never
You never hit the nick?
I've never hit the nick. I don't smoke cigarettes.
Don't start.
I guess. Well,
But
then I'd have
you
to
could
buy
have
a
a cool
jewel eventually.
little guy like that. You know?
Wow, look, it's standing on the mic. It's magnetic. It's attached to the microphone stand. You're doing a very cool, good job.
Thank you.
Um,
I bring a lot.
You bring a lot to the podcast, and mostly it's the jewel.
Mostly it's the
jewel.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's very exciting. Now that everybody knows what we're doing, do you want to get into the
Yeah.
movie? Should we just get into what's at hand?
Of course.
We have a lot of listener mail this week. We
do.
We said that we ran out of listener mail, and
It's
you
back
know,
with a vengeance.
we asked and we received.
And we received. Yeah.
That can't. What's the real saying?
Ask and you shall receive.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
you
we
said
asked
it.
and we
You
did receive.
recapitulated it.
Okay, thank you very much, Sam. Let's look at Paul at the movies. We're gonna watch we did watch a really good one this week.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We're going to watch it right now.
Let me take you to the movie, shorty. I'm sure later on you will be my baby. Let's sit down and just be by my side. I got the popcorn, I know what as you like.
Oh, my God.
So what I did there,
It was a double dab.
a double dab. I doubled down on the double dab.
X across your face.
Well, it's not X. It's kind of like a variation on the Wakanda Forever. But
Oh.
instead of like hands on your chest, you cross your hands and then you dab at the same time.
And you slam your forehead into it.
Yeah, because people have told me, because I said I invented the double dab. I might not have. I'm not really on Twitter. I don't know. It sounds like meme kids could have done that a long time ago. But I'm saying parallel thinking, I invented the double dab. And people ask me, well, what about the other hand that goes out when you dab? You know, like this hand, the left hand or the right hand that goes out straight and the other hand's brought into your head.
Shorter end of the dab is what you're talking about.
The shorter end goes in, but the long hand is what I'm talking
out.
about. The long hand going out.
Yeah, the salute.
How can you call it a double dab if those hands... I'm like, what I'm saying is you can't use these hands because if you go like that, you're going to hit yourself in the face. You know?
Right.
You can't do two long hands, but you can do two little ones.
Yeah,
You know?
okay. Good. I'm glad we've established that.
What are we doing here?
Paul at the movies.
Is this
is
where I
what we
talk
do.
about my cool memes and moves?
No.
Dan's memes and moves?
I hate them both. I hate your rapping. I hate your dabbing.
So that's not a segment then. Dan's memes and
and
moves?
I hate you talking, and I hate looking at you.
Well, you picked the wrong hobby then,
I know.
buckaroo.
It's rough.
Okay.
All right. Description?
Sure.
Paul at the movies. What's this movie all about? We watched The Illusionist.
The
2006's
Illusionist.
Illusionist. Came out the same year as The Hawk is Dying.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Two profound, beautiful
Very
films,
different movies.
but each about life and death in their own way.
Exactly. And the illusions we all perceive.
Oh my God, yes.
So, description. In turn of the century Vienna,
Okay.
a magician uses his abilities to secure the love of a woman far above his social standing.
Oh my God.
A princess.
No, she's not a princess.
She's a princess. She's an Austro-Hungarian princess.
No, she's going to be a princess if she marries the prince.
Oh, I
But
thought she was.
No,
But
no,
she's just a lady of nobility?
She's a lady of nobility.
Okay.
She's
okay.
a very classy woman.
I consistently called her princess.
Well, let's roll with it.
She seemed like a princess.
She was almost a princess.
She was almost a princess.
She had a brush with princess.
She had the same, all the things that make up a princess. it seems.
money,
Besides the
looks,
blood of it all.
money,
looks,
m-
being Jessica Biel,
rich daddy.
rich daddy. Yeah. The castle. She lived in a castle.
Yeah, you're right.
So, information. The film is based off a short story called Eisenheim the Illusionist by Stephen
Eisenheim.
Milhauser.
Okay.
Now, you'll like this one.
Okay.
Written and directed by Neil Berger, who was the director of and executive producer for
Oh.
the pilot episode of Billions.
Whoa, that's a little bit of history.
Uh-huh.
That's something that I also do like seeing in the podcast is
A
names reoccur
reconnection.
and connect.
Yeah.
We saw that earlier with Woody Allen kept casting Paul as little roles in a couple of his films,
yeah,
you know. But it is fun to see who pops back up.
Speaking of Woody Allen,
oh yeah,
he also came out with a magic movie in 2006.
what?
Yeah, and The Prestige came out this year too.
Yeah, okay, because
It is exactly like when the hit rom-coms about friends with benefits came out. Friends with Benefits,
yes,
starring Ashton Kutcher and Mila
Kunis,
and then No Strings Attached, or maybe it's
with
flipped.
JT and Natalie Portman.
JT and Natalie Portman. Those both came out in the same year. You know,
Well, that tends to happen.
like you said. What was it? Parallel something.
Parallel thinking.
Parallel thinking.
Exactly, and it's just like what's the ones with the asteroids, Deep Impact and the
Armageddon.
and Armageddon. Exactly. So that tends to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie is all about magic. This is a magic movie. Let's get that out of the way. It's all about
Yeah.
magic. We love magic.
Dan and I love magic.
I love magic.
Yeah.
And I love The Prestige. I hadn't seen this movie before. I don't
Prestige is
know.
one of my favorite
You
movies.
haven't seen this movie, right?
I hadn't seen this movie before,
Okay.
no.
Prestige is also one of my favorite movies. I love
Yeah.
that movie to death. I knew that came out in 2006. And
You
I
knew
thought it was
that movie came
interesting.
out in
Yeah, because I
2006.
knew this
Yeah.
was an example of parallel thinking. But there was another one by Woody Allen?
It's called The Scoop. It stars Scarlett Johansson and
Whoa.
Hugh Jackman.
No!
Woody Allen stars in it. He's
Hold
a
on,
magician.
sorry. The Prestige stars Hugh Jackman and
Whoa,
Scarlett
fuck.
Johansson,
Okay,
right?
He's not a magician in The Scoop.
Is Scarlett Johansson
He's a
in The
tarot
Prestige?
card murderer.
Hold on. That's insane
Yeah.
to me.
The Scoop is what it's called.
The Scoop.
Mm-hmm. Scarlett Johansson plays a journalist who goes into one of Woody Allen's like illusion boxes,
Okay.
and she meets a spirit that says he was
No.
killed by a guy that read his tarot cards.
Okay.
And then so she says, I got the best scoop in town. And she starts seducing Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman, Scarlett Johansson are both in The Prestige
Also,
and
Woody
The Scoop.
Allen is also, he's a lover, it seems, of magic films as well. 'Cause
Really?
he directed The Scoop. He also directed,
Jesus Christ.
he did that wild trick where he married his own adopted daughter. No, but he also directed a movie called Magic in the Moonlight.
The biggest magic trick of all.
Yeah. Just tricking his own wife.
Tricking your own daughter to marry you.
Yeah. But no, he wrote, did you ever watch Magic in the Moonlight?
No.
It has it has Colin Firth in it and Emma Stone.
No, I haven't seen
And
that.
Emma Stone's like a spiritual charlatan.
I try and stay away from Woody Allen movies because, he married his daughter.
Yeah, but I thought that movie was going to be good. Turns out bad.
Bad movie.
Also, The Scoop looks like dog shit.
Yeah, he doesn't have a good record.
After the 90s, it really diminished pretty badly.
Even
He had one movie about a professor falling in love with one of his students.
Okay.
And the professor ended up being I think it's called The Professor. And he ends up being a killer.
Oh,
A murderer.
intriguing.
It's pretty good.
That man is someone who
But
just
he's a bad man.
Yeah. Woody Allen just somehow, for the longest time, any idea he had, he could just write it,
He could just
and then
do it.
people just let him make it.
Yeah. He would do like a movie a year. A movie every
Yeah,
2 years.
every year, a movie a
Right,
year, and I
yeah.
think he's still trying to do it. Christoph Waltz is in his upcoming
luck.
movie.
Fuck, really?
Yeah.
Wait, he still has another movie coming out?
Yeah.
He's
He has,
not fully canceled?
No, Sam. He has another movie coming out that was supposed to come out during the Me Too thing, but got, shut down.
Oh, really?
But it's coming out in Europe, and now he's moved to Europe, and he's just making movies in Europe.
He did a full Rosemary's Baby.
Roman Polanski. Except, Woody Allen didn't rape anybody, let's be clear here, let alone children.
But we all just accept Roman Polanski. It's fucked.
No, we don't.
I mean, not all of us, but like he moved to Europe, and for a long time, people were just like still watching his movies.
Oh, yeah.
But not anymore. People now.
Well, what can you do? He's in Europe. He's
We can't get him.
He's out of our reach.
Yeah, he's out of our jurisdiction.
Okay, well, now that our
Anywho.
Me Too segment is over,
I mean, we gotta always touch on it.
gotta update it.
Who is Paul? He's Inspector Uhl.
Inspector Uhl.
Which is a great name. UHL. He's the corrupt chief inspector of the Austrian police within the inner circle of the nasty, conspiring Crown Prince Leopold.
Yeah, what
Our
a bad
villain.
guy. He
Has
has
something to gain
he has
from
a
being
bad
close to
guy
the Crown
mustache.
Prince. He does have a bad guy mustache.
He has a bad guy
You know what?
mustache.
Paul also has a bad guy mustache.
Yeah, well, he's
He
police.
seems like he's
police
supposed to be
chief.
the villain at the beginning,
Yes,
but he turns it around for us.
exactly. Paul's a complicated character. Once again, Paul is able to kind of spin a story around him and play someone who has shades of gray.
Yeah.
He gives a very interesting performance.
It's true.
Sorry, continue with what you're saying. Or
Oh,
was that
yeah.
it?
He has something to gain from being close to the Crown Prince, so he dutifully follows his every corrupt command.
And there's not much he can do either because what were they saying? Like the police have no jurisdiction over
Over the imperial family.
the imperial family.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting.
And seems problematic, which it ends up being.
Yeah, which is glad I think we live in a democracy.
God bless.
God bless.
Welcome to this new age.
Happy Canada Day. Okay, here is a sound clip of Paul introducing himself.
Oh, okay.
I like to pick out these sound clips where he says, I'm
It's perfect.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I do blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And here is Paul saying he's blah, blah, blah and doing blah, blah, blah.
You! Don't touch that!
Put
that down.
Eisenheim.
Who are you and what do you think you're doing?
I'm Chief Inspector Walter Uhl, and I'm inspecting your theater. I've seen you perform. It was very impressive.
He's doing a better accent than anybody else there. They're all British.
the accent
Everybody's
work.
British. He's also British, but a little sweetener of Austrian slapped in there.
The accent work is something that really deserves to be discussed. Paul comes in, and this is his first line. We don't have many clips. This movie was good. A good movie is hard to clip.
Yeah.
Notoriously hard to clip, which is why we have the backlog of clips, you know?
Yeah.
So it's hard to clip, so we don't have very many. So I think we can probably end up getting through most of them just in our discussion. I have his first line here. The movie opens.
That wasn't his first line?
That wasn't his first line. That was later on.
Description. Yeah.
The movie opens with Edward Norton. He's like on stage or whatever. He's like doing a thing, you know, and then Paul gets up on stage. He's going to arrest him.
Yeah. It's like the end of the movie.
It's like the end of the movie, but it's at the beginning.
The beginning is at the end.
It's crazy.
Well, wild.
It's wild. Unprecedented even. It's like a good magic trick, you know? You're like, what's happening? I missed something. And then you're like, the reveal is like, oh, it's the end of the movie. Every great magic trick has 3 stages. 1, the first part. 2nd.
Oh, this is from The Prestige.
This is from The Prestige.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is...
You should do it in Michael Caine.
Every great magic trick has 3 stages.
I love you.
You're blowing out my ears. Okay. So he goes up on stage. This is the first line of dialogue I think we hear in the movie, though.
Okay.
Right, because Edward Norton's like looking like he's about to poop out an egg, because he's like
real sweaty.
His hands like outstretched, and he's like summoning like a supernatural thing, right?
Yeah.
So we think, and then Paul gets up on stage.
Somebody says, "It's her. It's the one that was killed.
It's her. It's her." And so then he gets up on stage, and this is the first line of dialogue we hear.
Okay.
This is the first accent we're introduced to.
Oh, it's always so exciting when we see Paul right from the jump.
Oh my god, I can't tell you how happy. It
I mean,
puts a
his
big
name
smile.
is it's on there.
It's on there. I mean, he's
It's
an
on the
Academy
bill.
Award nominated actor now.
That's him.
It's right there. He's
That's
right in the middle.
Look, Dan, look.
I'm looking at the DVD case. Okay, here's the line.
In the name of His Imperial Majesty and the city of Vienna, I hereby arrest Edward Abramovitz, also known as Eisenheim the Illusionist, on charges of disturbing public order, charlatanism, and threats against the Empire.
Damn.
Wow.
That's a lot of crimes. So let's break down this accent a little bit. So he's like kind of British and Austrian.
He's like it sounds like he's like an expat, like an Austrian expat that's like living in Britain now.
Yeah,
You know
because
what I mean?
a
He's
lot of
lost his
people
accent,
in
but you
this
can still hear
movie,
it a little.
exactly. A lot of people in this movie kind of sound British,
They all sound British,
right?
Yeah.
And Paul's kind of like, so Paul's jumping in because he's American. He's jumping in with kind of a British accent, but then doing a twinge on top of it that's Austrian.
Which I appreciated though.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I didn't like.
It would have been better if everybody else followed his lead,
for sure,
because then it just seems a little silly.
but
that
I
he's
liked
the
his
only guy.
choices.
Yeah, that's what you should be doing.
And the other thing about Paul in this movie that I did like is that he's kind of grumbly and mumbly. We don't get a lot of Paul that
Was
like.
he? I didn't really notice.
Yeah, I mean that last clip he's speaking with a lot of
He's
bravado.
very clear.
But I think generally in the movie he speaks low a lot and is like but the Babadook.
Okay.
You know, he like grumbles and mumbles.
Babadook.
And I really liked that. I thought it was an interesting choice. Anyway, I did like his accent, and yeah, that's really. I just wanted to point out.
I'm just glad that he decided to add that twang.
Yeah.
Mason Ramsey twang. You know?
He didn't have to do it, but he did anyway.
But he did, and that's what we know about Paul. That's what we appreciate.
And listening back to that clip, it feels like he's working in a little bit of who was his character from where he played the harpsichord? Carlo?
Oh yeah,
Lord Carlo or something.
Yeah, from the movie about Rockefeller.
The Cradle Will Rock.
Yes,
The Cradle Will Rock. Yeah, and it feels like he's working in some of that. Do you remember
Carlo.
this?
¿Qué pasa?
Está la guerra.
¿Sí?
But yeah, it feels. Oh, here's a better one.
Carlo, a little privacy, please? Why don't you go clean the toilets or something?
I clean nothing.
Maybe not.
Yeah, you know, he's really just harkening back to bygone
Okay,
era.
it might not be a harkening back to Carlo, but anyway, like the accent. What else happens in the movie, Sam? I'm distracting you.
Oh, do you want to hear what Roger Ebert had to say about it?
Yeah. Sorry, let's get into the reception. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did people think about
Well, it had a budget of $16 million.
Okay.
Earned roughly 40 million at US, 88 million worldwide.
Oh my God.
Made that cha-ching. Nominated for an Oscar for Best Cinematography.
Okay.
Roger Ebert, this is what he had to say. 3.5 out of 4 stars.
Okay.
He said,
That's really good.
and we talked a lot about this. There's an irony inherent in making a movie about magic, since the photographic medium is discontinuous and subject to post-production manipulations.
Yep.
But it also focuses your attention elsewhere on the illusionary properties of movies and storytelling.
So let's take this as the time to talk about magic movies. I think that's a good segue, because I know we wanted to talk about this because we are both big fans of magic.
Yeah.
Even
and big fans of magic movies.
Yesterday, before we even were talking about The Illusionist, we were watching David Blaine clips on YouTube.
Yeah, because we both love David Blaine.
We both already had watched, and we're just saying,
enjoying
you're like,
the
remember the one
comfort
with
of the
Harrison
magic.
Ford? Let's watch that one. There is something really... I haven't seen a good magic movie. The Prestige is a great...
The Prestige is a great magic movie.
I guess. The Prestige is a great magic movie.
But I know what you mean. A movie that is grounded more in the world of magic.
In magic itself.
But not supernatural magic.
Because The Prestige starts with magic and then goes into like a science fiction ending, which is good. I love The Prestige with all my heart.
Yeah.
And that movie is so expertly done that you follow that tone shift and that total kind of genre switch.
Because it's a full genre switch.
And it makes sense thematically. It works as a movie. And so you're able to follow that. But this movie, on the other hand, I did really enjoy this movie. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But there's elements in here where you can tell that it's a little over the top. It's a little overdone. And I don't think you need to do that.
It doesn't feel real.
It doesn't feel real. It feels like it's
there's
being
some tricks that
manipulated.
are fully CGI.
Yeah.
Which, with a movie about magic, you're already on that level of, I'm being tricked.
Mm-hmm.
I know what this is about. And movies are already inherently doing that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of you're doubling up on that when you do show that it is fake, you know?
Yeah. And
or at least your cards are shown.
The interesting thing about magic movies to me is that the audience is always aware of the trick. Like when you watch any other movie, like I watch The Avengers, I watch any sort of like if I watch Game of Thrones, I'm letting myself believe in the world. I'm letting myself believe in whatever happens. I'm not looking for CGI. I'm not looking for specific things. I'm like allowing myself to be wrapped up in the movie. But I think with a magic movie, no matter how good the characters, no matter how good the story is, you are still always aware of the trick because it's so inherent in magic.
Whether it's post-production or within the real world.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I think the problem that a lot of magic movies encounter is that, first of all, it's hard to do magic because like magic is complicated.
It takes years to learn.
And you're not, people don't want to just like reveal all this stuff in film. And also sometimes it's not as interesting. It doesn't look as good. But I think it really sacrifices the quality because in this, for example, in this movie, there's a scene where he grows a plant, an orange plant. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't make sense.
No, the trick doesn't make sense.
The trick doesn't make sense.
It's so wildly CGI.
It's so CGI. Yeah. And then at the end, Paul Giamatti gets like a book because he asked Eisenheim.
He's very intrigued by
Eisenheim. What's his name?
Eisenheim.
Yeah. Eisenheim. How does it work, right? And he doesn't reveal it. But at the end of the movie, after he pulls this big trick and everybody's like, ooh, he disappears.
He makes a tree grow.
He
puts a seed in a pot.
Yeah.
A tree grows as he holds his hand over it, and he grabs a fruit off of it, throws it into the audience.
Yeah, and he's like, it's real. Check it out.
Yeah. Based off of a real trick.
Okay, cool.
Anyways.
Well, what I read was a lot of this stuff was based off of real tricks, but was like really heightened for a movie.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate that.
I can appreciate that. But it didn't feel real in the movie.
It didn't feel real.
No.
And so anyway, Paul gets the schematics of it as like a mechanical thing, and you see how it like pops out. I'm like, I get it, but I'm like, how did that real orange get there? Like, I want to be able to see. I want to like. I think the best magic movie is one where you're like, oh, okay,
where
but
you
wait,
have to peek behind the
and
curtain.
then you have to go back and you rewatch it, and you're like, oh, I see his hand move there, and he like pulls out the orange, and that's how it works. I think that's the best magic movie where it rides that line. Yeah. And I think that line's hard to ride. And not a lot of movies attempt it at all.
No. Because it's super hard to ride.
It's super hard to ride. So I'm a big fan of magic movies.
It's that being dazzled while also knowing you're being tricked is just such a hard line to follow.
Yeah.
In magic and in movies.
For sure.
And then you combine the two, and it's like you're kind of playing with fire for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's that line of like, when do we reveal behind the curtain of it all?
And that's the other thing.
Because you have to have that shift, I think, for it to be satisfying.
Well, that's the thing.
Because we all know me being tricked, but it's like, why and why is it motivated or whatever it is, right?
I think that's the thing about magic movies that makes it so different to magic in general is that when you go to a live magic show, and this is boring, everyone.
But I love talking.
I love
about
talking
this
magic. When you go to a live magic show, you are aware of the trick. You're being tricked. Of course, it's an illusion. But because you're in this space, you don't need to know how it happened, right? Because you know it's a trick. But when you're talking about a movie, you're in this space. You know you're being tricked. But you want, like, the movie needs to tell you how the trick was done or give you an inkling of how the trick was done so that you know that it wasn't movie magic.
Right. Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. In
So
a
it's
movie, you have to,
grounded.
like, explain your work a little bit so that you're like, oh, okay, it was a trick.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't, like, CGI. It wasn't, like, totally bogus in the movie.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
And I think that's an interesting differentiation between the two.
It's tough. But wildly interesting, and magic movies are dope.
Magic movies are so good.
He talks about Giamatti too, Roger Ebert. Want to hear him?
Sorry, I just tried to play a clip to lighten the mood again. Yeah.
So, but the film depends on Giamatti as the audience surrogate to do much of the work as a magician's assistant. He's introduced as the would-be villain striding down a hellish corridor lined with severed animal heads and antlers, but he soon becomes the most human and likable presence in the film.
Yeah, I really liked Paul Giamatti in the movie because Edward. I think I read something with the director who was talking about how all the characters aren't like really black or white. Like they're all kind of like. He was like Ed Norton is kind of a creep in the movie. He's like really weird.
This is from another movie.
What?
I swear to God, this is from another movie. This line.
The same thing?
Yes.
About
you
Ed
said
Norton?
this before. There's another movie with Ed Norton, right? That Paul Giamatti's in.
No. What? Which one?
I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing things. Mixing.
Okay. Well, what I read was that the director was saying that he didn't want to be black or white. Ed's kind of creepy. Paul is both kind of the bad guy, but also like intrigued and like generous to the magician. And in the end, the guy who is the villain
never actually did it.
Never actually did the crime. He's framed.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really a really interesting choice and made Paul a really compelling character because he both is like engaged with magic and really wants to know and likes it, but also is kind of tied between his ties to his country and the fascist government and a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah, plays with politics, plays with a little theology, plays a little the trickery of the world.
Yeah,
and they all play together and they all tie in. Beautiful, love it.
So I thought it really worked really well for Paul.
Yes, I thought so too.
And I have to agree, he's a good stand-in for the audience.
Yeah, because he literally is the audience most of the time.
Yeah. How'd that work?
Wow,
That's a cool trick.
Cool. Oh. So, shall we get into the whole movie? Outline it, talk about it, walk right through it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's work our way through, buddy.
Okay, we begin the story of the great illusionist Eisenheim at the end. Well, we already talked about this. Eisenheim was introduced to magic in his youth.
Yeah.
And then
He's
finds
a little
Sophie.
boy.
He's a little boy and he finds Sophie. And they fall in love. And he dazzles her with a little magic.
Yeah, he does a card trick. And again, this opening scene gets away with it because it's kind of set in like stories being told to Police Chief Paul. Paul gets to be like kind of the narrator of the movie, which is really exciting. That's a big step
and
for
his
Paul.
voice is so rich.
So rich and warm and deep.
No,
we are blowing out these levels today. What was I saying?
I forget.
Me too.
Paul's rich vocals, they get away with it.
So some of the magic in this opening sequence is pretty ridiculous, but it's able to get away with it because Paul is relaying the stories that he was told about Eisenheim.
Yeah.
It's like kind of folklore mythos.
Yeah.
And I really did like the style of the movie. What did you think about the style? It was all like a lot of it was like shot like it was really old timey.
It's like sepia tinted, like especially the flashback is like pretty much
all sepia, and like a lot of it has and the flashbacks all have the like a film projector like kind of
they're shadowing the corner
shutter
of the
rate
frame.
is
and
dropped.
Then very intense vignette on that shit.
On that shit,
I also liked all the colors in the movie. Like it had the nice like green, browns. Yeah, but I like that. I like that for period pieces.
I really like the colors. I liked all the browns and beiges.
And beige and gray greens. It was a nice tone, though.
It was a good tone. So they know each other as kids. And so they're really in love with each other, right?
They love each other.
But
he's a little peasant, aspiring magician. and she's a would-be princess.
You cannot be together.
You cannot be
No,
forbidden.
no.
Your love is forbidden. But
Oh no.
they persist, and their
Okay.
innocent love rides on.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and then they make a plan. They wanna run away together because she doesn't want to become princess, and
Yeah.
he loves her.
And he's just like,
I want to learn magic.
yes, please.
Yeah, you make me feel magical. And then he gives her a locket.
All right.
He gives her a locket
Yeah. He gives her
and
that he
with
makes
with his-
himself.
with his image in it.
Yep.
And then they get on the eve of their escape. They get taken away from each other, ripped away from the clutches of the peasant and the princess.
Yeah.
And then he runs off and he leaves his village forever.
And he learns magic,
And
basically.
he learns magic. He goes off like a shroud, and he reappears in Vienna, Austria.
Yeah.
15 years later, some bullshit like that.
Can I tell you this?
And
I
now
had
he's a learned illusionist.
I had another thought about magic movies.
Okay.
I feel like this is going to keep coming up. The one thing that I would like to see more of in magic movies, and it's referenced kind of in this on the side in this movie, is like all the engineering that goes into 19th century magic.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's such an interesting era because like modern magic, we have so much technology at our disposal.
Yeah. Somebody else is making all these like stage act performances.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a team of people and you're really able to do really amazing things.
But
But
really, it's just the magician did it all.
yes. So they had to
Or
like,
and their assistants.
and you see that in his house. He has all these gadgets and like,
Yeah,
it's
he's
like,
a tinkerer.
exactly. And that's so interesting. Because things like that did exist, like mirror things to project images and like different, like it's crazy what you could do.
Like there were products back then, but if you really wanted to stand out, you had to make it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so magicians would have to make all these, like they would innovate and come up with their
Yeah.
own tricks. And it just blows my mind. And I'd love to see that more explored more in a movie, which
Me
is like
too.
the engineering behind it, or like get a glimpse into not just like, oh, this trick happened. There's probably a machine in this corner, you know,
Yeah.
smokes and mirrors, but like see how that works.
Yeah.
Cause like
It's super interesting.
everybody knows about sleight of hand magic now, right? That's like,
yeah.
you don't need to explain it. It's cool, but you don't need to explain it. But seeing that engineering process is something that I'd be so into
Yeah.
as a magic enthusiast.
Yeah. Same. There's this one show on Netflix that magicians hate.
Oh yeah.
It's called, I think it's like Unearthing, or it's called The Magician's Code, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's a magician that wears a face mask and changes his voice,
Okay.
and he unearths how people do stage acts.
Shut up. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that.
It's not a great show. It's really, really slow and boring,
Okay.
but it's super interesting to see, like you said, the engineering, like behind the scenes of like how these stage acts go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
What happens next?
What happens next is he becomes a magician. He's a big boss.
Well,
lad.
he becomes a magician.
Yeah, he just does it. And then we have no training montage. I would.
Yeah. Really longing.
How funny would that be?
I was really longing for a training a montage.
That's what I thought when I was watching. I was like, well, what if they just did like a magic training montage with him
I'm
just
gonna
like
be the
tossing
very
cards
best.
in the air and like. Anyways, so yeah, so then he goes to Vienna, Austria. He gets very popular because he does this amazing magic. The orange tree, tosses the orange out there. Is it a real orange?
Yeah. Ooh,
Guess
who knows?
what it is?
It is.
And then
Let some butterflies carry a cloth, you know,
butterflies carry a cloth,
handkerchief.
and they're like, how?
How do
They're
you
butterflies.
do
They
that?
can't carry nothing.
How do you do that?
Yeah. So then he gets wild acclaim in Vienna.
Yeah.
Gets attention from the royalty
Mm-hmm.
of the time, and guess what?
What?
Sophie
Tell me.
is being courted by the crown prince
Shut
of
the
Austria.
fuck up.
Yeah,
What?
bro. Yeah. And she participates
Shut
in his
the
magic
fuck
show. Yeah, she participates in his magic show, and then they have a secret meeting because she finally realizes who she is, and then they start their love affair.
Shut up. Do they kiss? Sam,
my
tell me
God.
they kiss.
Oh my God, they kiss so
Sam, tell me
hard.
they kiss.
She comes and she says, "Well, you get the fuck out of Austria." And then, because he's poking the bear, he's poking the crown prince.
The crown prince,
Because
right?
he hears that he has an affiliation for
Thrashing
beating up
women.
women. Thrashing is the word they use, which I liked.
Which is something that I will now use for the rest, and is now part of the podcast canon.
Yeah,
Is
thrashing.
Leopold is a woman thrasher.
It doesn't sound scary,
Sounds scary to me.
getting thrashed.
Yes. That's like what a roller coaster does.
Doesn't sound-
But imagine if your roller coaster was a punchy prince
With a whip.
with a whip.
Yeah. Apparently he killed one of his concubines. Some shit like that. I don't remember.
I don't know.
But bad man.
Yeah.
And he pokes the bear because he's like, "You're with my lady. I like that lady."
Yeah. So she rides in the night.
She rides in the
on
night.
her
She
horse.
says, "Why are you doing this? Why are you being mean to the Austrian guy?
Now, Ed
I
Norton,
don't like him either.
Yeah.
But stop it. He's
And
bad."
And Ed Norton has moves because he's like really riling her up, and he's like, I don't know, like, why are you coming here? Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
And then he like turns to walk away, and then he turns, and then she's like, oh, and then he immediately turns back around and just kisses her.
Strides over.
And
Big kiss.
I was like, holy.
But then
shit.
it gets even better. Then they go into his house.
Yeah.
And they're kissing, and he pushes. What does he do? He pushes her.
No. So they're kissing, right?
Yeah.
And he's being very forceful, but like in a consensual, hot way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he like.
And it's not violent.
It's not. Well, he's not thrashing her. Let's be
not
immediately
thrashing.
clear. Ed is
Yeah.
not thrashing
On the scale
Jessica.
of thrash,
Not.
I'd say a 1.
A 1 to 10 on thrash scale.
Yeah, about a 1.
Maybe a 2.
Maybe a 2, but it's playful.
It's playful thrashing. So yeah. So they're like kissing and stuff, and then he like puts his hand on her and pushes her back again. Oh Jesus!
You're thrashing the mic.
Oh no, that was a 5. He puts his hand on her and thrashes her back against the wall.
And then he grabs her neck
and grabs her neck, and then
but nice, not hard.
No, a nice neck grab, and then he opens up her like pops open her blouse to reveal the necklace that he
gave her as a kid.
that she's still
she's
wearing.
still wearing.
So it's like very like sweet, but also
Sexy.
It's sexy.
And then very nice sex scene that they did.
Very nice.
Which is all done. High vignette. We had no idea what body parts were
No,
which.
because it was like a close up. It was just like
close up of body parts moving about.
Yeah, just
and
like panning
frictioning
down
against each other.
panning down of other
Yeah.
body parts. And at one point I was like, ooh, legs. And then it kept panning and it was,
It was
fingers.
arms.
I was like, whoa, what a surprise. A
But
magic
it was
trick.
nice. It was a well done sex scene.
I
Right?
would say I'm a sex scene connoisseur, and I would
We
say
are.
very, very good.
Yeah.
No Ellen one boob in this for sure.
No.
Unlike If These Walls Could
Ellen
Talk To.
fake boob.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Ellen's body double one boob.
Yeah.
But
But we thought it'd be really funny in that intense
Oh,
vignette
yeah.
if just a nipple
or like
slid
or like
through
a
the
penis,
screen.
like a penis.
Yeah,
or like
full
or if it
penis.
was just like, because it's like passing down like stomach and like arms and
Mhm.
legs and like a face and stuff, and then it's just like taint, or like
Ew.
it's just like
Imagine the angle just like looking down the body, just two taints on top of each other. Taint. No, it was really nice.
Yeah, it wasn't like that at all. It was actually quite sweet.
Yeah. And then I read, though, apparently they lit that scene all with kerosene lamps. And after each take, they'd have to like empty the room out of smoke.
No way.
Yeah, because, yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, a fun little tidbit there for you.
Very cool.
But then he does the manliest thing that can ever happen post-coitus.
yeah,
And he lit a fire in
it
a
was,
fireplace.
It was really cool.
And I really want to do that now. Sound great?
No, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I want to, yeah. There's nothing more manly than starting a fire after sex.
No, I don't even care. Don't cook on it. Just sit by it.
Well, what I was saying, though, is...
And then she cried.
Then she let down a tear.
But I can't be with you.
We have to run away.
I used to look at your photo in the locket every day.
And he's like, "Are you serious?
Are you
Girl,
serious, you
you
fucking
serious
creep?"
right now? Girl, you serious? You
You
want
serious?
to run away? You gonna be with me?"
And they're like, yeah.
And so then a plan goes into motion. And let's kind of skim through the movie. We've got a lot of listener
Yeah.
mail. Let's wrap this one up. But so basically the plan is, and you don't know it in real time, which is great. This is like a heist movie almost in a way, because like things get set up, and I started to go back and forth. I was like, is she really dead? Because what we see happen is that she tells the crown prince that that she's going to leave him. He goes out. She tries to ride away.
They're gonna escape together.
He's been drinking.
Yeah.
So he goes out to follow her.
He's like, what, you want to leave with that illusionist fucker?
Yeah, he's a carny, baby.
Yeah. And he thrashed her.
Oh, this is a real thrashing.
Yeah. The one quick one.
A 6.
Yeah, backhand.
Backhand.
Hard.
Thrash.
Yeah.
Thrash.
Yeah.
Thrash. And anyway, so he stabs her.
Yeah.
And then she's
We
riding
don't see it. It's off screen.
It's off screen, so we're
A
obviously
tussle.
like, it didn't happen. Anyway, but we're connoisseurs of movies and sex scenes. You know, we know both.
Mhm.
So she ends up riding off because she's dead. Like, she's on her horse, but she's been stabbed.
She's like, yeah.
And then afterwards, they find her body in a river, and
Mhm.
she has been stabbed in the neck and her belly, I think, or her side
her
or
neck.
something. I thought there was another one too.
I don't remember. But nonetheless, Eisenheim upset.
Upset. He's like so mad
Because they're supposed to escape. And then the Crown Prince
found out,
murdered her.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically, then there's this whole other thing where
and they examine her body, dead.
She's dead. And so Paul Giamatti's like, oh shit, and Eisenheim's like, the Crown Prince did this, obviously. And Paul's like, we can't
find a
say
gemstone on her body.
Oh yes, a gemstone from his sword.
So
then Eisenheim gets crazy. And he starts doing magic tricks where he like is summoning people who are dead.
Yeah.
Or like we think are dead, you know?
Spirits. Yeah, he's conjuring spirits.
And they're like, I don't know where
I am. He's doing no other magic.
It's
except
just spirits.
He just goes on stage, holds its hand up,
yeah,
strains, and a spirit appears.
Exactly.
And the audience interacts with them. They talk to him.
And it's wild. People are losing their minds and they think he has magical powers and stuff.
Yeah.
And so
the spirit realm is now confirmed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so people are starting to get mad, and then he
well, the Crown Prince is getting mad. Everybody else is on board.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah. And so then he summons Jessica Biel, you know, and everybody's like, "Oh my
Sophie.
God!"
Yeah,
which is Sophie. Sorry, his love interest who was killed by the Crown Prince.
Yeah.
And then everybody's losing their minds, you know.
They're like, "Who? What happened to you? What happened?" And she says, "The murderer," because they frame somebody for the murder.
Yeah.
So, but Eisenheim is not impressed.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are like, "Who killed you? Who killed you?" She says, "The murderer is in this room," because the Crown Prince went there in ordinary clothing.
Crazy.
And then he's not happy.
No.
He
and
says
so he's
to
like,
Paul,
"Shut it down.
Arrest that man if he conjures another goddamn spirit."
Yeah. So now we're almost back to the beginning of the movie. And Paul goes to talk to him. He's like, "Don't do it, dude. Don't do it."
Yeah, he's like, "I respect you now at this point.
Yeah.
I don't want to arrest you. I'm loving your magic.
Listen, man, your magic, dope.
You're killing the game.
Dope magic.
But please just cease and desist."
Exactly. And so he doesn't.
He doesn't.
No. And he summons the girl.
And you and I were really going back and forth. We watched this one together.
Yeah.
You and I were really going back and forth. Is she really dead? Oh, I did think she was dead, but they could have done a little switcheroo.
Well, immediately when it happened, I called what happened, and it turned out that it was right.
Yeah.
However, so much of the movie happens when she's dead, like in quotation marks. Yeah. She's dead. That you do go back and forth, and you're like, well, maybe he is just trying to get revenge now, because it seems like he's on a mission against the Crown Prince. You know,
maybe this double plan was actually just a single plan.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, they weren't actually trying to frame it, but now he really is.
Is.
So he does the trick again.
Yeah.
Gets arrested, but wait.
Okay.
He doesn't get arrested.
Shut up. What happens?
Because he was doing the same goddamn trick he's been conjuring spirits with, and he just dissipates and disappears.
Fuck.
And that was a great moment.
That was an awesome moment because they put the sword, and it goes right through him.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God. And the audience goes crazy too, just like us. All of us were the audience and us.
We were the audience and the real audience.
Whoa,
this is crazy. Magic.
So then Paul puts it together. Oh, so then Paul's like, oh my God. And he starts going back and he sees the gems and stuff. And he goes to Eisenheim's house and he sees the locket and he's like, oh my God, he killed the Crown Prince killed her.
Yeah.
He stabbed her. And so he goes in and he calls
he finds
in
another gemstone at the scene of the crime.
Yeah. So he goes in, calls the Crown Prince's daddy, and is like, your son's going to try and overthrow you. He's a bad dude. He killed this girl.
And it's off screen.
It's off screen, right?
Yeah.
And so he goes in.
Because the Crown Prince is trying to overthrow his dad by murdering him. We missed that.
Lots of stuff is happening.
Yeah.
It's not very important.
But nonetheless.
And so the Crown Prince shoots himself.
Yeah, because he confronts him and he's like, you're going to get arrested. And he's like, fuck this.
I'm out. Peace,
Gone.
baby.
Bye.
And so then Paul afterwards.
Hilarious.
It was all of us were uproarious. The audience and us. And but anyway, after this, Paul ends up Paul's like, okay, I did good, you know, I stopped this thing. And then a kid goes up to him and gives him one of Eisenheim's books that has the orange tree plant in it, and he opens it up and he's like, what?
Wait a minute.
And he's like, who gave this to you? And they're like, Herr Eisenheim.
Herr
Eisenheim. And Paul's like, oh, he played the greatest trick of all.
And the locket that he had taken from the body.
Yeah.
Missing
Eisenheim
from his pocket now. He got
takes
the kid
it.
to pickpocket him.
No. Eisenheim does it in his beard. I watched it back when I was doing clips.
Oh, really?
And he bumps past him and takes it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. See, that's a good magic movie, is when you go back and you're like,
oh fuck.
Yeah. So then Eisenheim gets on the train, goes off to like a field with Jessica Biel, and they like are living like a happy life.
And Paul has a flashback of like all the puzzle connecting for him.
And he's like,
he realizes Jessica Biel was just given an antidote that made her act dead.
Exactly.
And have no pulse.
She like drugged the crown prince.
The family
and then,
doctor was in on it all, the whole thing.
So crazy.
And they fully framed him so that she could escape and disappear.
They caused the suicide of the crown prince.
Yeah.
To make him
Paul
disappear.
at the end is just ear to ear grinning like, I've been totally bamboozled. This is awesome. I love it.
Paul has the dumbest look on his face.
It's really bad.
Because like it's doing all these quick flashbacks and it's like, we're gonna disappear together, and then it's like things, pouring the drink and different things, and he's like, everything I've planned, it's all for the illusion, like all this different stuff, And Paul at first is like, like he's like, what? These faces. He's in the train station by himself, and he's doing these like what faces?
As
and
I'm
then
just escaping. Yeah.
And then he starts to smile, and it's like nonstop, just cutting to him with these shit-eating grins, just like.
And they're really bad.
They're ridiculous, and that's how the movie ends.
Yeah. And they're off in a cottage in a field.
They're off in a field. So that's The Illusionist.
Great movie.
Yeah, I really liked it. I think what are your final thoughts on the movie?
I mean, the supernatural stuff is always kind of the magic, like we talked about. It's the magic movie turn that they like to do.
Yeah.
The magic is real magic. Or is it real magic,
Yeah.
They always do that, which is like, that's okay. That's good. I'm still here for it. But yeah, overall, love the movie. It was really good. Cinematography, fantastic.
Yeah.
Edward Norton, Paul Giamatti, Jessica Biel killed the game.
This one's worth a watch.
Fuck yeah.
Just like you said, oftentimes I will always enjoy a magic movie, even if it's ridiculous, like we talked about before. But this one was great. I really do recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
I would give Paul 7.5 out of 10 Pauls.
7.5.
7.5 Pauls.
Fair. Yeah.
Because I really liked what he was doing.
He was a good carrier of the film.
Yeah. And it was really great that he got to be the narrator. It was really great that he got to play such a complex character.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did a really good job.
It was the shift of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you want to get into some clips?
No Paul watch.
No Paul watch. Yeah. No Paul watch. Nothing new's happening.
Nothing new. He's making gunpowder milkshake. He's doing billions. Loving life.
Okay, let's get into some clips. The first clip I have here is Paul responding that he likes something very much.
Oh, I like that very much.
He is really grumbly, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very, very grumbly. This is.
I like that very much.
I like that very much.
Yeah, nice.
This one is called Tip.
I assure you, your secret is safe with me. I'm an officer of the law, after all, and a bit of an amateur
See how
contra.
dark and mumbly he is?
Yes. Well, card tricks, coins, sleight of hand, yes. Nothing fancy. Perhaps you give me a tip.
And then we have two clips here. These are our last clips from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
This one's called Edvard.
Edvard. Oh, right. Yeah.
And this happens when their kids were in the flashback for when they're children, and they're separated. And Sophie,
she says Edward real weird.
She has a really interesting accent on this one.
Sophie! Edward! Sophie!
Edward. It's Edward.
Edward.
Sophie!
ETWART.
Sophie!
Edward.
Let's see.
Edward.
And then this is a sound clip that I'm gonna see if you like this. Okay.
Okay.
It reminded me of some. Some
really
weird sound in movies.
Okay.
Nothing really stood out to me in the sound in this movie except for this clip because all these water sounds sounded ridiculous. Take a listen and see if you hear what I hear.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a stock sound.
Yeah. Do you?
It's just like a bubbler, like yeah.
What? Why would you choose that sound? It sounds so compressed. It sounds.
Yeah.
So that was a water sound that I found.
That's
but again,
funny.
Again, this movie had not too many clips because it was quite a good movie. Actually,
Very serious drama.
A very good movie. I do have some other clips though before we get into listener mail. This is Neil Berger, director and writer Neil Berger, talking about Paul Giamatti and why he
Oh.
likes Paul. So this is from some interviews.
Oh,
From,
obviously he likes Paul. He hired him for the pilot.
Oh, okay, well, here's what he had to say.
Well, Paul Giamatti plays the character of Inspector Uhl, and Paul's been playing a lot of characters that are, eccentric and things like that. And this is a very different part for him. And I was actually looking for somebody to play this part in a different way because, the character of the investigating police detective is, a conventional one, and I wanted to put a fresh spin on it. And Paul is such an incredible actor who hasn't really been given the chance to do these kind of roles.
Fuck off. Has you watched anything Paul's done?
Yeah, come on, Neil. You're not freaking Jesus over here giving Paul roles, okay?
No.
He just
He
played
was in Sideways.
He just
Ass
did a
hat?
period piece. Ass hat?
Yeah. He was just in The Hawk is Dying. It just premiered the day before.
Ass hat.
Ass hat.
Talking about premieres, here's Paul at the premiere. I liked this clip because the interviewer asked him, just like how we connect his movies back to previous work, this interviewer really did his research.
Oh, it's a nice period thriller. Lots of action, thrills, romance. It's a good movie, though. It's an excellent
Not
movie.
wrong.
I think it's the first time you played a cop since Big Mama's House.
That's right. Wow.
You like
I've never
playing a
thought of
cop?
that. Sure, I love playing a cop. Absolutely. This guy's a good, yeah, you're right. I never thought of that. The guy in Big Mama's house and this guy. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's what our interviews would be like.
Totally. Just like
Yeah.
how you played him in Big Mama's house. But that's
Fantastic.
That's it for
Also,
clips.
he's a man in power, but not crumpled this time.
True.
It is a fresh take. It is a different role for Paul. Neil Berger,
Neil Berger.
thank you so much.
Thanks for giving us some Paul, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into some listener mail and then get out of here.
Okay.
Because we got a lot of listener mail.
We do, yeah.
Let's open up the mailbag.
get it.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a
So the first email is from Adam Snyder. Now, you might remember, as a little refresher, a couple weeks ago, because he emailed in so much, I said, pay us $5 and give us a theme song, and you can have a regular spot on the show.
Yeah.
I have yet to receive $5.
Fuck him.
So we're not reading his email.
no.
I'm kidding. We're going to read it. He says, hello, Giamatti guys. And I also want to use this as proof that I can read. There's been a
Okay.
lot of questions as to if I can actually read. I
Yeah.
can
A
listen.
lot of questions, a lot of evidence, too.
Just let me go. Let me spread my wings and fly, Sam. Hello, Giamatti guys. I feel like you misunderstood the "this doesn't have to go on air" from the last email I sent. When written, I intended. He messed up. That wasn't me. He messed up that word.
When written, I intended. Yeah, he did in and tended. It's two
What
different
a
words.
fucking idiot.
Ass hat.
What an asshat. Intended not to take up more time from the Giamatti discussion. However, since I was prompted and I don't like to back down from a challenge, I have a little bit for you. That you can play when you read my email, specifically, or anyone else named Adam who writes in, I guess.
Can you play that?
I have it right here. So Adam has a theme he sent in. Again, no $5.
And
but-
I haven't heard this yet.
No. So this is the new Adam's theme for when he wants to send in mail.
Okay.
Here we go. Adam's theme. Adam.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you liked it?
Yeah, that was good.
I mean, we'll play it again. when
Fuck him for using the Avengers theme.
I think it was pretty epic.
It was funny, though.
I had a question about Giamatti. I just saw Spider-Man Far From Home and really enjoyed it. It got me thinking about how bad The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was, even though it featured Paul Giamatti as the Rhino. Now, we haven't watched this, of course, but
he
he's
does play the Rhino.
iconic as the Rhino. Not to spoil the film, but an actor from a previous Spider-Man film returns to this movie. Oh,
I didn't know
I didn't know that either.
Jake Gyllenhaal, he wasn't in any of them.
Wait, shut up. Do you think it could be... I guess it's not Paul, obviously.
No, fuck no.
Do you think it's
Maybe
Blue
it's-
Jamie Foxx?
I hope not.
Okay, so it gave me these questions. 1. Do you think Paul Giamatti might return as the Rhino? I hope so. His screen time was short, but it definitely should be brought up once you reach the Amazing Spider-Man
Wasn't he only
2.
in like the first 15 minutes of the movie?
Yeah, he was a lot in the trailers, but he's like the first little
a
action
little
scene and then
bit.
done.
Yeah.
So I do think he deserves some more time. And I think Paul deserves...
That
well,
was crazy, though. He was crazy. in
I
that.
guess this is the second question here, but I was going to say Paul Giamatti deserves to be in one of these universes, for sure. And I think Marvel. I think Paul has the kind of crazy energy that would really work in a Marvel movie. Maybe not so much DC. I think he'd be kind of boring in DC. Don't you think?
Yeah,
but I
I
think he could really do a Marvel. Giving his fleeting appearance in the superhero craze of the 2010s, could you see Paul Giamatti recast in another Marvel DC movie like Ryan Reynolds from Green Lantern to Deadpool? What superhero or villain could you see Giamatti play? Would you rather see a superhero or villain, Sam?
Villain. I want him as Penguin. Oh, that's from DC.
You're right. He could play a good Penguin.
He could play a great Penguin.
I think he would do better in the Marvel universe. I would love to. I think he'd be a really good villain.
I don't know any Marvel villains.
I think he could be a villain. Neither do I. I'm not the most knowledgeable on superheroes. Maybe I think he should play the Silver Surfer. No. But like, yeah, I don't know too much. We might have to do some research and come back next week on some ideas.
I'm interested by this topic.
But I would love to see him in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
What if he played Galactus or something?
That'd be interesting.
Or like, what if he played Doctor Doom?
No. Doctor Doom's super serious.
But like a Marvel Doctor Doom?
I don't know.
I'm gonna say
what if he's the Thing? No, the Thing has to be a buff dude.
But I was like, so like, I don't know too much. Okay, Doctor Doom is like the leader of this country and stuff.
Yeah.
But what if Paul was like the fascist like oligarch of like a country? You know?
I think it's like Latveria they call it or something like that. Anyways, yeah. Could be great.
And he could do his accent again.
Yeah.
He could do his Austrian European accent.
accent. Yeah.
My name is Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
¿Qué pasa?
I'd like it.
Finally, Paul seems to enjoy acting in sci-fi, Planet of the Apes, Paycheck, Robots, etc. Robots, obviously, is one of the
sci-fi
pivotal science fiction films, works of our time.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Paul in high fantasy. If you were to recast him into either The Lord of the Rings, Amazon show, maybe The Hobbit, or even Game of Thrones Season 8, who would you have him play?
He would do great in a high fantasy political drama.
Oh, it'd be incredible.
Because there's going to be another one that pops up. I mean, like Vikings did what is and has done well.
Or like the Lord of the Rings show. Is that what he just? Yeah, Amazon show would be great.
There's a Lord of the Rings Amazon show coming out?
You haven't heard about it? It costs like $1 billion. It's like insane. I mean, not $1 billion, but like the costs are astronomical.
Isn't it a prequel?
Yeah.
Is it the Silmarillion?
Yeah. I don't know. It follows Aragorn, I think, is the idea. Anyway, okay.
Anyways,
I think it's a great idea. I like in
he
Game
could
of
be
Thrones.
a Hobbit. He could be a Hobbit easy.
I think in Game of Thrones he could have been like the banker. You know, like the person Mark Gatiss played, or Gatiss or whatever.
He would have played like a good eunuch, even
well, that's the thing.
He
with
could
Paul.
have done a good Varys.
He could have done like really anything. You know, I could have also seen him be like kind of a northerner and do like a norther thing and have the beard and do like I'm from White Harbor. My name's Paul Giamatti.
Yeah. Or he'd be like a man with misplaced power, like he's just kind of like a jerk. You know what I mean? Like or like a dimwit in power, like one of the Tarleys.
Yep.
Not Tarley, Tyrell.
Tyrells?
The Tyrell.
Oh, like Mace Tyrell. He would have been a great Mace Tyrell.
Great Mace Tyrell.
The other thing that Paul can do really well is that I think that I don't know. Yeah, he can do really anything.
Yeah.
He's a versatile actor.
He would be great in high fantasy to answer the question.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely fantastic. Cheers, Adam Snyder, Central Community Assistant, Student Housing and Residence Life Undergraduate Researcher, Robert Rise, Vertebrae Paleontology Lab, President, J. Tuzo Wilson Geology Club, University of Toronto, Mississauga. Thank you, Adam.
Sweet. Also, Adam asked here in another Adam email.
Jesus Christ, do we have to play the theme again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam. So he says in Giamatti poster, hello, medium-sized Pauls. I've been advertising your podcast around my office. Oh, thank you, Adam. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And was wondering if you would create any Giamatti merch, specifically a Giamatti poster to decorate my dorm. Praise be Adam. Well,
sure.
We have nothing in the pipeline, but we would love to create some merch.
Yeah, we'll make a poster.
We can get a bunch of posters.
Will you buy one of our $75 t-shirts?
Yeah. Now, $125 poster.
Yeah.
But now we haven't, I think, a long-awaited moment.
Adam sent another email.
Fuck off. No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He sent 3 emails.
Oh, shit. We're going to read that other one?
Adam. This one doesn't. This one's sent from a Samsung Galaxy smartphone. This one, we asked for favorite clips, and because Adam's the only person who likes to interact with us, he told us these 3 clips. Can you name them out for me, Sam, and I'll play them?
Oh, I'm not looking at that email.
Okay. He's looking for the
NYDPD bloop bloop bloop.
NYPD BDSM blues, big drums.
Yeah.
How you doing, Sal? I want to change your clothes and a shave.
Very good, very good. The
Fantastic
second clip
drums.
that he says is his favorite clip is "You a Pervert."
You a pervert?
Oh, I don't know if I have the
Is that
full.
the one?
That might
You
not.
a pervert or something?
Um,
Is that what that clip is?
No, that's not that one. God damn it, Sam! I need you to stall.
I honestly don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what clip he's referring to. What are you, a pervert or something? I think it's that one.
Oh my goodness.
Was that the one?
It's too hard to find.
I
these.
don't know.
Hold on.
I don't
Hold on.
know.
I got it. Okay, if these walls could talk to, he's asking for "I got sperm."
I got sperm.
That's Ellen.
That's Ellen. I got the sperm. And then he's also looking for from what was that movie where they blow up the house and it was racist to the storytelling.
Yeah. Which I don't know if it must be a clip if we talked about it.
Yeah, I don't even
It's,
know if I have the full thing here.
I'm a documentary filmmaker, which is just like a pervert or something.
I think I cut down the clip. This is what I have for now. Maybe next week I can pull out the whole thing.
Okay.
You a pervert?
Because he's taking a pee and then he goes, "No, I'm a documentary filmmaker."
Yeah.
Anyway, that has been Adam's theme.
That's an Adams moment.
Adam. Beautiful.
Perfect. Great.
And then we had one other piece of listener mail, right?
Now we have a rebuttal to Adam.
Jesus Christ. What's our podcast turning into?
Just Adam's Corner.
Okay, this is a rebuttal to Adam.
This is a rebuttal to Adam himself, which he deserves one, truthfully.
Yeah.
Because he's had too much airtime. He needs to be taken down a peg.
Somebody needs to step in.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that he didn't pay us $5 and we still played his theme 4 times.
So if you remember back in the listener mail, Adam was not a fan of us having somebody on the podcast, our guest, Nina Milanovsky.
He sounds crazy. When we talk about Adam like this, he wasn't a fan that we had a guest of this on. You know, Adam emailed in 3 times for this.
Yeah.
Adam did this.
He's a disgruntled fan. And he had a lot to say. And
he's going to John Wilkes Booth us one day.
Nina made some jokes that she doesn't like Paul Giamatti, they were jokes.
Can you confirm that they were jokes? Because I feel like she was real. We're talking about our paycheck episode with Nina.
Here's
Milanovsky.
The thing. Honestly, I think she is a fan of the podcast.
That's for sure. She is a fan. She listens every week.
She listens every episode. But here's the thing. I don't think she's a true believer of the Paul.
And that's something that can happen.
And
I think we have to be generous.
That's fine.
It's not okay. But I think it's something that takes time. You know, we weren't truly fans until doing 20 episodes of this.
Yeah.
You know, it takes time to build up that allegiance and that respect for Big Paul.
Yeah, it takes time for your Paul growth to take hold and take your life force away.
So what does she say?
Nina Milanovsky says, listener mail, urgent. It says, I wasn't going to say anything, but then Adam doubled down, and then I realized this is a war that needed to be fought. She says, directly to Adam, dear Adam.
Okay, I'll accept it.
No one likes a kiss ass. Every great panel has a dissenter, someone who doesn't drink the Kool-Aid, to make sure not every male-led podcast turns into a depressing circle jerk. Behind every great man, there's a woman toiling, working, and looking pretty for only half the pay. Even you, Adam. Even Paul.
Wow.
Confusion is good. Conflict is better. Listen to the cacophony of opinions of the Paycheck episode and praise Paul that your life has excitement. We only experience pure harmony once we are worm food. In the immortal words of Jim Jones, men left unopposed... What?
Yeah, good luck.
In the immortal
Sam
words
just couldn't
of Jim
read
Jones,
something.
men left unopposed will just grow up and be dummies. Oh, men left unopposed will just grow up and be dummies.
I think you still...
Anyways.
What are you saying?
I may be paraphrasing a bit, but you get my gist. Anyways, I know hearing comedy from a feminine voice is confusing and maybe even scary. I get it. But as an expert in movement, I would like to guide you through a relaxing exercise that may encourage you to take life a little less seriously. Bring your attention to the bottom of your pelvis, release all the tension you've been holding in your sphincter for Paul knows how long, and feel what relaxation feels like. Who knows? You may even toot. Praise be, Nina.
And
so, pretty hot and heavy.
I guess that was Nina's theme. Nina.
All right, so that's been listener mail.
That's it. We need
Adam, write in. Rebut. Your rebut.
Yeah, leave us a voicemail. Yell at her.
Yeah.
Get angry.
Yeah.
Do you hear what she said about your manhood? Get angry.
Yeah, she told you to release your sphincter,
Is
Adam.
there a woman really behind you? If so, turn around and lock your door. Okay, this is good stuff. So next week, what are we watching?
I actually don't know. I didn't write it down.
What the fuck, Sam?
Sorry.
Sam, this podcast is going to be 100 years long because none of
know
us have looked this stuff up. Okay.
What is it?
Well, I'm looking this up.
Find it. Find it, Dan. What is it? I don't know.
Next week, we are watching Lady in the Water. Do I have that DVD case here, Sam? Lady in the Water?
Yeah, you do.
Nice. And he's playing a character. Get it ready for this. He's playing Cleveland Heap.
Cleveland Heap?
Let's see what anybody says about it. It says, wondrous and magical. Paul's on the back here. Lullaby and Good Fright. The creator of the six. This is by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, fuck, actually?
This is by M. Night Shyamalan.
Does it have like a mysterious dame in the water?
Yes. The creator of The Sixth Sense and Signs wants to tell you a bedtime story. By M. Night Shyamalan, he told his children is the springboard for his spellbinding plunge into the supernatural. Paul Giamatti plays an apartment manager who finds an otherworld water nymph named Story in the pool and then sets out to help her return to her home, the Blue World.
Oh.
Huh.
Sounds like shit.
Well, we're going to be watching that next week.
Can't wait.
I think the good Paul movies may be officially over.
Uh-huh.
Before we go, Sam, there was one last thing I wanted to do. I understand that this podcast has gone very long. She's long.
What do you got for me?
When I was looking up people reviewing The Illusionist, I found this man who made a YouTube video called My Paul Giamatti Discussion.
Okay.
He has some good points that I think we should talk about. And this is how we can end the podcast, because it ends on a very hopeful, kind of emotional note.
Beautiful.
The first clip, though, is how he describes Paul. And this is this man telling us, the world, why he thinks Paul Giamatti is so good and why we all like Paul.
Perfect.
Paul Giamatti, you guys, what I really like about this actor is we have so many actors in Hollywood that, are this handsome, skinny, muscular, Taylor Lautner-ish actors out there. And it's nice to finally have an actor that's a little bit more like everyday people. And what I mean by that is, he's rather than having a skinny, muscular actor, why not have an actor that's a little bit plumpy?
Plumpy.
Why not have an actor that's a little bit plumpy?
Yeah, he's a plumpy, crumpled man. That's fucked.
That's how he starts talking about him. I was like, well, we don't do Weight Watch, but that's plumpy. That's so rude. And then this is what he says
he's
about.
Not wrong.
He's not wrong. And this is his kind of.
Paul's a breath of fresh air is what he's trying to say.
Exactly. And this is.
But he chose the word plumpy instead.
It's very strange. This is the note he ends on, and this is the note I want to end this podcast on.
Okay.
Episode 36.
Episode 36.
We love Paul, and Paul has done so much, and this is why this man thinks that Paul's important. We know why Paul's important. Mm-hmm. He gives life to all of us.
I want to hear it, Dan. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Paul gives hope.
Yeah, Paul Giamatti, guys, he's just...
What does that sound?
He gives people hope that if you want to be an actor, be an actor. If you want to work in Hollywood, work in Hollywood. He makes us believe in ourselves. He's an actor that, isn't this huge George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Taylor Lautner, Ryan Gosling, good-looking guy. He's able to be
you fucking
himself. And I think we ought to be ourselves if we want to have the career that we want to go for.
Right?
And for Paul Giamatti, he was able to be himself in something as big as acting in movies.
Wow. Paul Giamatti teaches us to be ourselves. And I think that's kind of the moral of this podcast. Be yourself. Mm-hmm. And subscribe on YouTube and listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Instagram. And send us emails at emailgiamatti@gmail.com. Yeah. And with that, Sam, let's get out of here. It's been a good week. I will see you next week when we talk M. Night Shyamalan.
Hell yeah. Blessed be the Giamatti.
Praise be.